Hey guys, WR2 today, as I have the last few days because I really enjoy it. Inside of it, I've got a PolSilver blade. The wrappers on those are unmarked, and this is what the blade looks like, at least on one side. This particular blade has some uses on it, about 15 or so. Still shaving great. I'm going to try it out in the Wolfman 16 shaves for this guy. I am going to marathon him just slowly. All right, the soap for today is a sandalwood. I really like the scent on this one. WSP, their Formula T is my favorite base from them. It's just so slick, and the lather, it's a tallow based, because that's where the tea comes from, and I really like it. Now, the whole WSP thing, tallow or the rustic, the maker said the rustic is one where more of the scent can come out because it doesn't have to overcome the tallow base. And so if you like the scents to be a little stronger or more deep or something like that, then this might be the base for you. But if you prefer the performance and slickness of the tallow, then that might be for you. I like sandalwood so much that I bought this a while back, or I don't know, I ended up with it, and I really enjoy it. And I have had the Formula T in my recent memory, so let's just see how this base compares in terms of performance. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I like that Formula T so much. And the whole deal about WSP is it's a strong competitor with Stirling. And if you like the Stirling base, like I do, it's tremendous. Then you have to start thinking, here you've got a little 4-ounce tub or something. It's 125 grams. I should have done the conversion. They didn't list the ounces here. But 5.8 ounces is what Stirling gives you. And the lather is terrific, and it's a tallow soap. Now, obviously, the sandalwood, for me, not obviously to you because you don't know, but Stirling doesn't really have a good sandalwood, in my opinion, a strong one, an authentic one. Their sandalwood's more sweet. That's just the way they've decided to take it. And it's pretty light in terms of scent. And this is a little stronger, and it's a true woody style. Recently I did a sandalwood from somebody who uses this exact same tin. What company was that? It's right on my desk. But Lather and Wood from Amazon fame. And so here's what the soap looks like. I haven't used it too many times. You can see it's gotten a little old, and but it should be just fine. Still got a great scent, just an authentic woody scent without too much to try to come in and mess it up. A lot of the sandalwood scents out there are either weak or imperceptible, and they have these cologne type scents or other bits that are coming in to try to help out the scent, and you don't end up smelling the sandalwood. And I'm fine with that, but so many times the makers will call it sandalwood and you can't even smell it. So that's a little pet peeve of mine. So we're going to try out the rustic line of WSP today. And so you get less product with WSP than you do with Stirling. But in sandalwood, you don't have too many choices. But there's one called Matterhorn, and I believe that's the Silver Mountain Water. I believe Stirling has, and I believe it's Mountain Man maybe, a direct competitor with that. So on that one, I might steer toward the Stirling. Indeed, on most of them, I'd probably steer toward the Stirling. But on the scents that you like that Stirling doesn't have a direct competitor with, then the WSP might be a good buy. The brush we're using today is this Grizzly Bay red, white, and blue. It's a small, stubby handle with their trademark thick, thin, thick, kind of situation. And we're looking at about a 15-minute soak. I wanted to do that because this one does have gel tips, and I wanted to make sure they had plenty of soaking time so it could be as soft as possible, less backbone. And I think I like the knot okay. I used it one time before. I didn't like the handle, so this is kind of another trial for the handle. See if I need to maybe pass this brush on to somebody else. I like the way it looks, I like the color scheme, I like the look of the form factor, and I like the brush, but we'll see if the ergonomics work out. A little more than 24-hour shave today. I'm sure the razor is going to cut through it. This is a 95 gap Wolfman that I have. All right. And again, this is there's no need to bloom this soap or pre-soak it or anything like that, because it's not a hard soap. You can actually press and make indentations on it with your fingers, and so it's not a hard one. Don't need to bloom it. Shake most of the water out, and we'll give it a 30 seconds. 55 was right there, so we'll go to 25. It is a 24 or 22 knot that I have in this handle. The hole is larger, but it's not super deep, and so the bristles have been able to open up, and that's been fine. It's also not that great for bowl lathering because it's so short, but I got it at a good deal. Thought I'd try it out. Haven't had a Grizzly Bay brush before. It's possible that the larger ones, maybe 66 millimeters, something like that, if they make those, or something close to that might appeal to me. But I don't think this one's going to work out, but we're going to give it a one or two more tries here. All right. Roger Quintero lather bowl. And this is the part that is a little uncomfortable on this brush. My thumb, you see how it's poking into the corner of that? I think everything else is pretty good. Now right here, my finger is pushing down, is forced to kind of push down against it. And it's bending my fingernail, and that's not too bad, but when you do it for a few minutes, it does, you wish for something else. Also, because it's a shorter brush, you have to do more work in the bowl. Your hand and wrist has to do more work because you have a shorter length of, a shorter arm to the bristles. Like small dogs have to move their legs faster to keep up with larger dogs, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's a nice looking lather, kind of rich and thick, coming up right away. Yeah, good woody scent. Now, and of course my fingers are going to get messy during this one since the brush is short. We'll put in a teaspoon and a half to kind of get us started. It probably needs that much. I think he probably, whoever owned this previously and affixed the knot in, probably used a stronger epoxy than just silicone. I tried to yank the knot out earlier because I was thinking maybe I would just keep the knot and pass the handle on to somebody else. But it didn't want to come out with an easy twist and pull, you know. Often silicone will allow you that kind of flexibility. Lather's looking pretty good. Yeah, nice and slick. That's a good, feels good, feels really good. There's some premium soaps out there that don't quite feel that slick. Is it a vegan base? Let's see. Water, coconut oil, glycerin, shea butter. Not too many ingredients, guys. Look around the border there. You can do a pause and see it. There's really not much in this soap, and so how about that? That's pretty good. Feels really good for being that simple. Let's put a little bit more water in it. So now we've got 2 teaspoons. Now let's pull it down and look at the stretch. Hey, that's some elasticity right there. Look at that. Nice. Nice. Look at that. All right. I think we're going to shave with that. Just going to make sure it's got an even distribution of soap and water, just mixed really well. And then even my this finger right here, my fingernail is being pressed up against the back side of that ridge. Not super comfortable. It's not a bother during the lathering process, just this action here, just the building, soap building. The shortness of the brush actually may bother me a little bit more than the feel of it, to be honest, because so much arm movements and stuff have to happen because of the just a shorter handle. Use this and kind of as a pre-shave, dispel and start to work on some of the oils on my face. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't. A little water. Hard water here as usual, and it's tepid. Mornings are starting to get colder around here, so you know what that means. The water base is going to be cooler, so I'll start getting more refreshing shaves. Yeah, this brush feels really good. I like this knot. It feels, there's a little bit of density to it. And so I do like some of my other badger knots a little better, but this feels good. I wouldn't have a problem using this guy for long. Oh, nice scent. Oh, that, yeah, good scent strength here, maybe 5 out of 10. What this kind of feels like is the bristles it's easily splaying, no problem there, but it's like it's opening up, but there's still this glue ball or just the feel of that, some density there. Obviously, if you are a person who, not obviously, I keep saying, maybe that's a habit of mine, I'm sorry. If you lighten it up and don't really work in the splay, then you get these really soft tips and there's nothing really to bother you at all, and it does feel really good. However, I like to kind of work the brush a little harder and splay a little bit more, and then that's when I start feeling it's like you're taking something really soft with furry and put it on a tennis ball. You still got that shape underneath, even though the softness is what you're feeling. You know, that's kind of what this reminds me of. But the lather feels terrific. Really happy with this base. Really nice. I I didn't know the rustic base was this good. It had been too long since I tried it. Try this PolSilver out. A little bit of blade feel. Started out cross grain, which I normally don't do, and you can hear the action. Now this is 17th use of this blade, so I'll definitely have to put a young PolSilver in it at some point and just see how that feels. With the 95 gap is not the mildest gap that he makes with the WR2, but it's maybe one step up from the bottom. So sometimes when blades get more uses on them, the mild razors start to be the first razors to have a little problem with that. Rinse. Well guys, there's just nothing wrong with this base at all. This is very nice. The lather looks terrific. I got great elasticity out of it. Let's look at a drop on this one. Not super stretch before the drop, but feels really good. I don't need this much lather on my face, but I've just got plenty of it, so why not get a little crazy? I think I probably like this Golden Nib Finest knot. It's a 2-band knot. Has a little bit more backbone than their silver tip types. 3 bands. But maybe I'd put it in a different handle. Maybe this size might be about right. I was thinking if I wanted to go to a higher size. So my silver blue, even my one that had a lot of uses on it, maybe more than this blade, performed a little better in this razor. This one's still all right. And by now, the second pass, it's doing well, no problem at all. You can hear it, but you know, I'm not really feeling the edge too much. It's not bothering me at all. Comfortable. Seems like it's going to give me a good shave. Nice close one. And the rinses, that was a first rinse or just a second ago, and it was very slick. Really nice feel. All right, that was a nice second pass. Third pass, and that 30-second load has given me probably 5 or 6 passes of lather. So no problem there. Could reduce that if I wanted to. And even though the grip on this brush, the handle is, you know, a little bothersome when I'm mixing the lather. Right now, because there's such a light touch, because I'm not pushing around and splaying heavily like I am in the inside the bowl, it's comfortable to use. So the ergonomics of the grip only, like I said, really only come into play in lather mixing. It's nice with the lather application. And my grip with these types of strokes here and here is just, I'm still holding it primarily in the center, in one small area. Like I'm not, widening to hold a lot of the grip. And so there's a lot of movement that can happen with the razor, and I want that because I want it to move over the curves of my skin without me forcing it with leverage through bumps. I want it to move over bumps, and that keeps me from getting irritation, and it probably prolongs blade life. So just a light touch. A little bit of harshness with this blade occasionally. Do need to watch out with it. Generally a very comfortable shave though. And third rinse. It's going to be the final rinse. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Yep, final rinse. I'm just really happy with this soap base. Really slick, nice slickness. Built up pretty quick. Lather looks terrific, feels luxurious. The rinses, it rinses clean, doesn't take forever to rinse and clean your face. And it's just a great feel. The viscosity is nice. So I feel like I nailed this lather with these ratios this time pretty well. Sometimes I like to take it a little wetter than this, and I feel like this base could handle it. But in terms of a vegan base, really happy with this. There are good ones out there. Dr. John's is another favorite one. Katie's Bubbles is vegan and terrific, and I believe Soap Commander as well. Excellent bases. This scent, I'm so happy. There's another nice authentic sandalwood scent that has been unadulterated, and so if you like sandalwood, I can recommend this one to you. It's available during the shave, the scent, around you, and it performs really well. So really happy with this soap. Since I don't have too many brushes that gel up, because I like the feel of the real fibers, not the real fibers, but I like the feel of the hairs without having their ends and tips turn into tiny sponges. I think I'm in the minority. That's all right. Plenty of good brushes out there that don't gel up, and but many considered a sought after attribute. I just wanted to show it to you. This is with me just rinsing and cleaning the brush afterwards and then slinging the water out. That's what we're looking at right now. You can see them kind of grouping together. In terms of longevity, the treated bristle tips like this, they've probably been bleached. It's probably the treatment that was used. That treatment can cause the brush tips to age quicker and break in, 5-6 years instead of 10 or 12 maybe, something like that. So be aware of that. But if you have a rotation like I do of several brushes, then this thing could go your lifespan, as long because it's getting used every week instead of every day. But just wanted to put that out there. And right now these tips, and of course when I was shaving, these are very soft, and I don't actually mind these. The feel is nice. It didn't feel like little sponges. It had a good soft feel to it. And let's drop it on a towel. It'll look a little different after that. But when it dries, it will be all hooky, and it'll kind of look like that hooked part of Velcro, not the smooth part, but the other part. And it'll be crispy. No, that's another word people use. And I would encourage you not to work those knots too much when they're dry, because you could then contribute to the breakage of the tips. And there we go. So it's a little different now with a little bit of stropping. These tips do absorb water more than a normal untreated. This one hasn't been treated nearly as much. You can see the difference in color. This is more bleached out because bleach was used. And so these tips are not going to absorb water as much as these are. So that's why I gave this guy a little extra soak time. I wanted to give him at least 10 minutes. I ended up giving him 15. He performed really well. I've noticed a couple other my two bands, my Fanturian from That Darn Rob and my Stirling Finest, that I believe I'm going to have to make sure gets soaked for maybe at least 10 minutes. I haven't quite nailed down, but more than just the 5 minutes that I often do while I'm prepping. So I'm gonna try to figure out a good time for those. But for right now, I just, give them a good several minutes. So really nice little brush. I like it. I like the look of it, but I just don't think the feel is for me. So there we go. But I really like the knot. I'll probably bring in find a handle and put a Fnst knot in it from the golden nib. I used 2 teaspoons of, no, four, because I remember refilling it. So 4 teaspoons of water for that. 30-second load. I could definitely reduce this down to 25 seconds, maybe even try 20 seconds, and have enough for 3 passes plus a little bit. So looks good. Really happy with the scent. I do get a more powerful scent from the puck, but it was available and enjoyable during the shave, so that makes me happy. As a post shave, throw on a little Stirling Dunshire. My wife likes that scent, so while the soap is for me, the post shave items that last an hour or more after the shave are for her. And it's really nice because her like list is much shorter than mine, and so it's nice that I get to enjoy a wide variety of soaps for myself. And then she doesn't care as long as put on something like this, or Executive Man, or Sharp Dressed Man. And then this is what carries me on for the next few hours. And I like to throw on a little bit of water on my face right before putting that on. Just makes it easier. Don't have to use as much product. And that heals up your skin a little bit, in case you don't know. The scraping process and all that, even if it's comfortable, can still remove some skin layers. And sometimes it's just the dead ones, the dry ones. But sometimes it's a little bit more. It'll get replaced. It's not a big deal. But just to help that healing process, recondition your skin, a balm is a nice way to come after a shave. And it's kind of crucial for those with dry skin. I have oily skin, and I don't really need it per se. And so sometimes I'll do an alcohol splash. But sometimes I do a balm. And especially when it smells good like this. All right. Well, we had a good shave. I was surprised by how good the vegan base is, the rustic base from WSP Wet Shaving Products. So that was terrific. The experience with the PolSilver wasn't that great. And so it looks like maybe I'll need to try a younger PolSilver in this razor, just to be sure, because with each different razor, you kind of have to run through all your blades to see if there's some that fit it better than most, and so this with 16 uses, now 17, maybe this PolSilver isn't quite a good match for this razor, for me at least. So but it's a good one with many of my other razors, so we'll try a young PolSilver sometime in this razor and see how it does. A delight to shave with, and I had a good time. Nice sandalwood. I think the Dunshire mixes nicely with the sandalwood scent. So I think we're good. Great to try out this little brush again. And it was I really like the feel. I think I am going to have to pick up this knot and put it in a handle. I did like the nice soft feel. The older golden nib knots, I don't think they were Fnst Badger. I don't think they were treated like these are, but I might have to pick up one. I'll check the prices, add it to my list, and maybe in a few months or something like that, put it, see if it comes up in the rotation. All right, so hey, you take care. I hope there was something here that helps you out. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Bye.